Hello, where have I been? What has happened? What has been going on? You know? I do not know this. Um, let me shut the door. Goodbye. Bye bye. Hello. Are you okay? Um, the documentary shit from Wales, Charlotte Church's Dream Build, has been playing for the past couple of weeks. No, past since the beginning of February. Yeah, so past couple of weeks, a few weeks, and wow, this is dead. And it's not very great. It's pretty meh documentary. But it's nice to see my friends and myself. Nice to see people on there I know. Tonight, the episode was pretty crap. There was no volunteer stuff on there at all. Just be nice to see people who I live with. The past 2 weeks, I've been on it a bit. Anyway, tonight there was a these two interior designers, both super insane, eclectic, I guess, super interesting style and whatever. And all the time for a lot of the time I was there, basically, when me and Indigo met, soon we both started doing this accent like this, like Russian accent. And she was Ivanka, I was Sergey. It was sort of our thing. And one day, me and George were moving underfloor heating to into the house, whilst these two interior designers were going around with Charlotte, and all the time like, George, come on, help me lift this. It is too heavy for my weak self. Just I was doing it all the time. I got to a point where I was thinking in this accent, and I remember telling Indy that, and she just laughed her ass off because she was the same. She could sympathise with that. Um, it got kind of ridiculous. It was always I was talking more in this accent than in my normal accent, in my normal voice accent. Anyway, so me and George were taking these underfloor heating, these big panels into the room and stacking them. And when we were going in, George was like, Luke, I think one of the interior designers is Eastern European. I was like, George, do not be silly. It is okay. And I was doing this accent sometimes to strangers, sometimes to visitors, just because it was like part of my character at Redoldog. I was just so quite happy, and it was all every day was at work was pretty damn fun. Um, I miss that place. And we were going in, and George said, "Luke, I think he's Eastern European." I was like, "No, George, do not worry." And he was getting quite anxious, and this quite burly guy. If you saw the program, he's wearing this big double-breasted, long peacoat, um, really cool dress. And George just goes, "Oh, hey guys," and the woman says, "Oh, hi," and the guy doesn't speak, so George says to the guy, "Oh, I like your boots," and the guy goes, "Oh, thank you very much," and I go, "Oh shit, he is Eastern European." I just imagine if George didn't say that and I went to him and I was like, "Oh, hello, I am Lukov," because that was it as well, Lukov instead of Luke, I was Lukov or Sergey. I was like, "Oh, hello, I am Lukov, nice to meet you," and he was like, "Oh, hello, I am Alexandrov or whatever. You are Polish?" I'd be like, "Yes, I am Polish." Anyway, a little story. What's been going on? Where have I been? Etc. The last video I think was Albania. That was pretty tough. I probably spoke about all of that there. Basically, after I got back from Albania, that was it. Charlotte sent an email to everyone saying, "Okay, so we're doing a restart in early 2022. We'll restart the volunteer program under a new format and structure early 2022." And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome! It's actually happening," because I was so almost convinced that it wasn't happening at all. And to learn that it was happening for me was like banging. Um, so that was cool. And then I'm just giving an update. This is not really articulate or coherent. I just thought I'd stick on the camera, stick on the phone, and then yeah, so that was cool. And I was like, okay, well, we're gonna hear more information soon. And then me and two others, Rowan and Indy, got separate emails saying, hey, because it said in the first email, oh, reapplication process will be underway, and we got separate emails like a week later, like, hey, you guys are really cool. Would you come in early February to restart? Like to set up the culture of the community, and then new applicants can come in early March. And we were like, okay, that doesn't sit too great, but thank you. And we spoke to the others about this, and they were understandably a bit pissed off. Or not pissed off, they were really happy for us, but at the same time, some of them were a bit like, oh man, some a bit angry and whatever, upset, should I say. And then Kai, project manager, sent me some videos of what the place looked like, and it was kind of a shambles in terms of the living accommodation. Like the boys' dorm was now the office. Both dorms had merged into one. The lounge where we spent so much time was a tip, really messy, like a storage area. I sent my concerns over to Charlotte. A week later or so, Charlotte said like, yeah, it is disorganised. We'll postpone the volunteer restart until late March, hopefully when the permaculture people arrive. Permaculture people basically do all the gardening, do all that sort of cool shit in the front of the house, which I'm really quite interested in doing. So I sent an email to Charlotte saying that's totally dispiriting. That's too long for me. Rowan and Indy were the same. Like that's just too far in the future. And then heard nothing from Charlotte until the weekend just gone. She was like, "Yo, can we have a call?" And we were like, "We're busy at the moment. We'd love to though," because she said she said I have an interesting proposal. We had a call yesterday. Yesterday, and she offered us three. She offered me employment basically until June at Riddledog, doing what I was doing before, but paid. And because I said about the money stuff, how that was a really big thing for me, and basically what's been happening these past 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks or whatever is I've been applying for jobs, and mainly in Edinburgh. I could stay at home, live at home. That's too. I think I'd vegetate. I think I'd stagnate, as I am doing now, as I feel I'm doing now. I'm going to the gym. I only really socialise with Jacob, my gym buddy, and my friend. I'm living at home, not paying rent. If I got a job, I'd pay rent, and I'd just save up money, and I'd live here, and it'd be fine. Probably boring, or I could go to Edinburgh, and I've set my mind on Edinburgh for these past 2 weeks or so, and this is why I was really hesitant hearing Charlotte's proposal. Maybe it'd be like, oh, I'll come back in 2 weeks and we'll make some good living conditions. And if she said that, I'd have gone, sorry, my heart's set on Edinburgh, and if I went to Wales to volunteer from early March till June, I'd come back with less money than I have now, and I'd still be in this boat. And the boat I'm in now, or not now, the boat I was in until yesterday morning, was I don't have a lot of money. I will probably be working a minimum wage job, and then trying to find something better paid and probably more enjoyable. And yeah, if I went to Wales, I'd be volunteering for a couple of more months. I'd come back, and I'd be like, oh, I'm back where I'm at. I'm back where I was, back where I am now, or yesterday morning. I need to find a minimum wage job. I would like to find a place in Edinburgh. At the moment, how my future's looking is I go to Wales within the next few weeks, hopefully. I save up a couple of grand, which would be, say, that'd be good. Save up a couple of grand, get more experience, hopefully, again, trim down. I'm looking pretty good, I'm pretty happy with my looks. I just have, I don't know, like 5 kilos maybe of weight I'd like to lose, and then I think I'd be like probably the best I've ever looked. Not massively fussed on that. I am quite happy actually with how I look at the moment, which is a strong statement to say, to express. I'm looking pretty sexy, if I must. Look at jawline. Oh, oh. And like sort of get away from porn. I'm better with that. At the moment, I'm actually pretty okay, but I want to, cut it out again. And I don't want to take my phone or laptop, at least for the first month or two. See how that goes. That's just a new idea. I've not really thought too much about that. We'll see. Get fitter and just have a good time. Like, if I'm working with Bubsy and the gardeners and whatever, hopefully they're chill. And maybe new volunteers. Charlotte said about maybe late May or May getting volunteers, which is a long time away, but I don't know. But if I can occupy myself in the evening with, like, if I play guitar, I mean, I won't have so many distractions. If there's a projector in the lounge, I maybe watch movies, read more. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like, but they're specifics. Generally speaking, the idea is to go to Wales until June, late June, I don't know. Toward the end of that time, have my laptop by then and look for flat shares. Get my ass to Edinburgh, July, end of July latest, hopefully, and just hand out my CV like crazy, get a cafe job, get some money coming in, and start working up there. If I could get a job secured, doing like gardening or something, even better. But by that time it's getting on in the year. Maybe rent goes up, maybe it's really hard to get a place because of the Fringe Festival, if that goes on this year and it's massive. I don't know. Maybe that has to wait till next year. I really hope not though. If I can spend a good amount of summer, like July till September, where it's quite warm, in Edinburgh, that'd be groovy. One of the big reasons is starting afresh, and by starting afresh, I mean starting afresh. Like, in terms of people, I'd like to start dating. That's a big thing for me. I'd like to meet people, connect, fuck, great, whatever, always sex. I'd like to connect with people. I'd like to meet people. I met like Indigo and Rowan and George, especially last year, and Emma. But the communication there. I'd like to connect more with her. The girl from the festival I've spoken about before. I'm sure I have. Surely, right? Connection's there, but she's not in the same place I am, and I'm just like, I'd like to, but she's not ready, which is okay. I don't judge her for it, but it's like, it's an unfortunate loss or an unfortunate lack of happening for me, and for her potentially. I don't know. But I'd like to meet more people like that. If I can, even guys, I want to fuck guys. I don't really want to fuck guys. I want about meeting guys who can become friends, who have these similar values and interests as I have. Like Rowan, George, and Indigo, three of my best friends, and yeah, fuck you, LL. I'm just like, people like that exist. I'd like to meet them. That's cool. More of them, please. Not in a needy way, but I'm just saying it'd be cool to develop a friendship circle like that in Edinburgh, in a city I love, my second favourite city in the world that I've discovered so far, just below Budapest. And for that reason, I don't even know. That's an arbitrary list because it's just based on like my memories of that place and what I experienced there, probably. But when I was there last year in Edinburgh, I did really enjoy it. Just, yeah, good charity shops, number one selling point. Charity shops are great. They were actually good. I got a pair of brand new with tags Prada Garbadine trousers for 99 pence. Oh, beautiful. Anyway, I got a beautiful Dolce & Gabbana mainline merino wool V-neck. Oh, for 8 quid. Saying that, in Beeston, I got a pair of £720 Prada shoes for a tenner. I've not sold them. They won't sell for much more than £100, but it's still cool. Anyway, what am I saying? I'd like to experience stuff because I've tried too long to intellectualise myself through my sexual insecurities and all of that cool jazz. It'd be nice to meet people who could help me work through them on a more sexual level and a more intimate level, and it's not going to solve stuff, it's going to just hopefully help me along my journey. Cool. It feels right. Meeting people, doing stuff, socialising more, trying different jobs and being scared, like moving in with strangers in a flat share. It's scary. They could be great people, but it is scary. It's uneasy. It's uncomfortable. What else? So yeah, I don't know what my year looks like. I might not go back to Wales because the amount of disorganisation, which is thus far almost pervaded at least the volunteer scheme and also I'd say the project in general, it might just be a flop. It might not happen. Charlotte might say, actually, I can't afford it, as she told me originally when I asked about employment or paid overtime. She said I can't afford it. Now she can. I don't know how, but I'm not going to ask. Apparently she can. It could also happen that I go there for a month, get a month's pay, and then she goes, I can't afford you. You will have to leave. That will be devastating. That would be shit. I'll have to ask her about that. I'll be like, can you actually afford this in a nicer way? Will you be able to afford the entirety of my employment there? Please don't, blue ball me or do that a bit and then leave me hanging. What else? I need to get back. I don't need to talk about girls. I can just say I was going to meet up with a uni friend. She sort of ghosted me. Approached a girl who worked at a pub, exchanged contact details, and then she was honest with me. I asked for honesty. She cancelled on me because she was like, I'm too old, because she was 12. Ha ha ha, funny joke. Ha ha ha. But that didn't happen, but I was really glad she could be honest, and we left it really nice and positive. Keeping in contact with people. Like, I had a conversation with Indigo and Vanessa today. Hopefully going to speak to Kai tomorrow. I've got a call with Kyle. Now, Kyle is a guy who life coached me in third year uni. I've got that tomorrow morning. He life coached me for a few months as I was going through third year uni and sort of got me more into philosophy. So I've got a call with him. He is teaching English in Beijing. Be interesting to see how he's going. Actually, I've not spoken to him since last March, maybe, nearly a year ago. I think that was the last time we spoke, recently after I got back from Australia. Anything else? There's probably more stuff, but I'm quite impressed I've been talking for 19 minutes now. I think that's it. I go to the gym, I'm enjoying the gym. I'm not reading a lot, I'm watching more movies. I've watched a movie every night for the past 3 days, which isn't too many, but it's consistent, it's nice. I'm able to engage with the movies and not feel guilty or ashamed, should I say, for not being so productive, not being more productive. It's not so painful now for me and Indigo. My feelings toward Indigo are less strong, I'd say, but that might not be true, and the next time I see her or spend an extended amount of time with her, it might all surge up again in an effervescence of pain. I don't know if that works, but anyway, I ate sushi at the weekend. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. We might do more of these. 20 minutes or so. Sayonara.